If your business fails, it will ultimately be because you ran out of cash. And so having a system, a reliable system for cash management is not only the key to the survival of your business, but it's also the key to a good night's sleep. In today's video, I'm going to show you why checking your bank account every day on the hour is not the best management tool when we're trying to manage cash. I'm also going to cover the simple tools, the simple routines, and the simple rhythms to ensure you know how much cash you're going to have in the future, a concept called future bank, and also how to make sure that you've always got enough money to pay the bills when they fall due. So let's talk about your bank account. Your bank account isn't a management tool. Too often I see business owners running their entire operation, their cash part of their operation, just by checking their bank balance. Some of them I know check it more often than once a day, others check in irregularly, but that's their sole source of information on the cash position of the business. Now, while it's good information, you know how much cash you have today, it doesn't tell us what's coming in the future. It's a history lesson. It's like driving a car and looking in the rearview mirror. It doesn't show us what's ahead. And that's why I recommend using something called a 12-week rolling cash flow forecast. It gives us insight to a key metric that business owners should be monitoring. And that metric is future bank. We don't actually care. It doesn't really matter what today's bank is. We want to know what our future bank balance is going to be. And that's where the cash flow forecast comes in. You'll notice that I said that it's a 12-week rolling cash flow forecast. This tool gives us our bank balance, our predicted bank balance, every week from today over the next 12 weeks. We can see what our bank balance will be 8 weeks from now, 6 weeks from now, 10 weeks from now. It's giving us 12 of those. And the reason why we do 12 in Australia, that usually takes into account one BAS or tax cycle, which is pretty much the biggest expense you're going to have to pay. And if you take a look around the business news at the moment, the ATO is coming after business owners because they have tax debts at a higher rate than ever before. Business foreclosures are the highest they've ever been, and it's because of those mounting tax debts. So it's critical that you have a cash management system that's going to keep you out of that trouble. Now, the 12-week rolling cash flow forecast is not a counting tool. It doesn't have to be reported on. It doesn't have to be 100% accurate. It is our best guess at where our bank balance is going to be over those weeks. In my businesses, I have an admin or an accounts person update it on a Monday morning. I simply check in on it on a Monday afternoon. My business dashboard has a little indicator that tells me the cash flow forecast low point as well as what that balance is. And if it goes below a certain level, that triggers an alarm. Maybe we have to do something about it. Now, what goes into this report or this tool? You're only considering two things. Your predicted outflows, so the money, the cash that has to leave your business. You know, if you're paying wages on a fortnightly basis, you put that in there every fortnight. Your rent, all of your utilities, marketing spend, any of those expenses that you know are going to happen in the future or are predicted to happen in the future. The other piece of information we're putting into this are the predicted inflows. If you're on 30-day terms and you issue an invoice today, well, in your cash flow forecast, you're putting that amount for 30 days from now. It's also pretty easy to forecast that we've been traveling like this. It's probably going to go like the same way into the future. And it's important I'm going to reiterate this. It is your best guess. It doesn't have to be 100% accurate, but it's giving you insight. And so when you check on it, you're going to see your bank balance out into the future. And let's say you see that in 8 weeks' time, your balance is going to get pretty low. Well, obviously that's not great news, but you can also do something about it now. How do we increase sales? Can we chop any expenses? Is there anything we can delay? Can we run a promotion? We can do something now instead of waiting till the time comes, surprised by that big expense, and then we're looking under the couch for some cash. Now, conversely, If we check in on our cash flow forecast and it's showing that our balance is going up and up and up over the coming weeks, good, we're made in the shade. We can rest easy on the cash position. We still want to make sure our business is doing what we require it to do, but we know that we don't have to have any cash dramas. And the problem with looking at your bank balance like that is you kind of don't know. Subconsciously, you don't know what's coming ahead. And so therefore we live in this state of anxiety about it. Now, the good news is I used to run this as a spreadsheet and I would give it to all of my clients as a spreadsheet, but I've actually built an online tool. And if you want a copy of my tool that you can use, it's free. You can use it in your business to predict your future bank. Grab it below. I'll put it in the comments and that's yours. You can use it. Now, the other cash management system we need is something I call the Comfort Cash system. And this is a series of buckets, and those buckets are actually bank accounts. And they work like a champagne tower that you might see at a wedding where you pour the champagne in at the top, the first glass fills over and then it spills into the others. They fill up and then they spill into the others. So there's 3 accounts. The first one is your operating account. This is where all of your incoming money from your customers lands. This is where all of your regular expenses are paid from. So this is the main bank account you think about when you think about operating your business. And what we do is we actually set a lower limit. Okay, we're never going to go below this amount. I like to have 60 days worth of unavoidable expenses as a minimum in my account. If I get below that, I'm starting to worry. So that's the minimum. We also set a maximum because we don't want that account to just build up and up and up and up and up and up when it's not deploying our capital properly. We could be doing stuff with that money. So for me, I set a maximum of 6 months unavoidable expenses. For every business, that actual number is going to be different and you can calculate that for yourself. But once it gets over that, the money goes over into the next account. And that next account is your future fund. You're provisioning in that account for your future liabilities. The ones that are statutory, the government liabilities. I talked earlier about the problem of so many business owners owe money to the tax office. With this system, you can't get in that position. So what future liabilities might you have? You've got your GST, you've got your company tax, you've got your PAYG tax, you may have payroll tax. All of these amounts go into that account. And you set up a little rhythm. Each time you pay payroll, you move over the PAYG amount. At the end of every month, you move 10% of your income into that account. And each quarter, you take 25% of your profit and move it into that account. And if you're cottoning on to this, you'll notice that that's probably more than you have to pay, which is better than having less. So what you want to do is always have the minimum amount in this bucket to be no less than your 3 months obligations on all of these areas. And you set a maximum amount that's kind of only 20% over that. And once again, we're going to get an overflow happening. That last account is for you the owner, and it's your profit account. I recommend having it with a different bank. So once you move money over there, it's actually a little bit difficult to get it back because I want you to pay yourself with that money. So we've got this overflow going. As soon as our provisioning account, our future fund goes over our upper limit, we move money over into that profit account. But that's not all. I also want you to set an amount when you make a profit, a percentage of that profit gets transferred from your operating account each month or each quarter, depending on your sales cycle, into that profit account. That means you've actually taken profit and putting in an account, and you get to decide what to do with that. Obviously, talk to your accountant about the best way to get it out of your business. But if you're actually going to put it back in and invest it in your business, it's not done in a lazy way. It's deliberate. I'm going to invest in this marketing campaign. I'm going to hire a general manager with it. We're going to open a new premises with it. But more importantly, take some out, pay yourself, invest in your future, have some fun with it. So there you have it. We're going to stop looking at our bank account because it's not a management tool. Yes, we'll check in on it from time to time. It's there, right there in your cash flow forecast. So you're going to use the cash flow forecast instead. So you've got insight into your future bank. It's a key metric in your business. And you're going to set up that Comfort Cash system, the buckets, those accounts, and they're going to start rolling over. So you always have the money when the bills fall due. See you next time.